Welcome if you're new here. Welcome back if you're not. It's hard to recognize me, probably. I have my hood on, my hat on. I'm well covered because the black flies are horrendous here in Nova Scotia right now. My name is Debbie Wombold, aka Minnie of Minnie Soaps, and we're on Homestead too. And I'm going to give you the first look of Homestead 2 this spring. Let's start with this year's pig pen. So we moved the pig pen after last year's torrential rains to higher ground because nobody wants pigs that have to swim. So this is their new pig palace, and this is this year's two little brother piggies, yet to be named. Holy mackerel, the flies. So yeah, those are this year's new piggies. And then let's go over here. Over here is where I have berries and berry trees, berry bushes and that type of thing. So, and we'll also be planting some squash and pumpkins in here, in this pile of stuff and another pile over there. This is my hugel mound, and I planted my strawberries in it, and they're growing really well. I'm hoping this year to grow them out. They won't produce, but I'm growing them out. We got several blueberry bushes. One here, another one here, another one there, right there. Sorry, it's hard to film and walk. One here, and a tiny one here. This is going to be another place for squash and pumpkin, maybe some zucchini. And yes, we know about the deer eating our stuff. It's unavoidable when you plant things in the woods. So these are my raspberry canes in here. I don't know if you can see them, but they're starting to grow. It'll take a long time for these to come up to maturity. So I have a line of those there, one in the middle and one back there. Over here I also have a line of raspberry canes. Planted some heather just for pollinators. This here is a hascap bush. Red currant here. This one is another hascap here, and gooseberries here. So in this area over here butts on to the garden that we made last year. So let's walk around this way and I will show you what's going on in there. Things are a bit changed around this year than last year. This is like our landing pad, turning spot. Right there is last year's pig pen, which is turned into a turkey pen. We're doubling our turkeys this year. And then the turkey coop and chicken coop that we had last year are made into one because we're doubling our meat chickens this year. And there's Sophie. So let's show you the garden bed that we made last year, and we'll talk about the difference in it this year. I might even see a deer running around here, hard to say. So this year we did garlic here. Let's see, let me open this. It's hard to open. Yeah, this one is heavily fenced off. So Egyptian walking onions here, garlic here, shallots, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of onions. We're already having to water. It is incredibly dry already. So this is going to be beans, And then corn is going to go around the outer edge of this garden. So let's go out. Come on, Soph. Come on, Sophie. Come on, Sophie. All right, so coming over here, this is our expansion this year. So we just got another load of composted manure, and that's going to be leveled hopefully tomorrow. And that's where our carrots, turnips, and beets are going to be planted. And then if you come over here, well, let's do the pond first. Down here is the pond. You might remember that from last year. I'm just going to be quiet so you can hear how peaceful and beautiful it is. So our pond had a lot of frogs' eggs in it this month. It's already dropped probably 2 feet in the last couple weeks. So kind of worried that we might end up in a drought situation again this year for the beginning of growing season, which, as anybody who farms knows, early drought is not ideal. So there are my black irises in there, and I planted a lot of sacrificial, I call them sacrificial bulbs here. So it's things like hostas and that kind of stuff that are attractive to deer, so that maybe they'll come down here and eat these instead of going in my gardens. There's a crabapple tree we planted down here, and another crabapple tree here. And this is a cherry tree here. And you can see, like, this is an old logging road, but it's pretty swampy. So eventually we'd like to expand the pond up into here a little further. Oh, look at that. There's some little white violets here. See, you gotta stop and look at the little things in life. So yeah, this will all have to probably whipper snip this, because the tall grass is terrible for harboring wood ticks. But that's the pond. So let's walk up, and as you walk up, you can see where the new garden extension is going to be, and the other garden. This is going to be all thinned to open it up. We're going to leave the hardwood trees, maybe a few softwood trees in here, and all of this brush and stuff is from when we started to thin it out. Yeah, so there you can see the new garden extension, last year's garden. And coming over here, I hope that you can sort of get a feel for how the layout of the land is going to be. So that's the stone wall. And then there are the big trees that we cut last week. If you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you would have seen that. So yeah, if you come over here along this kind of path, there's my wattle bed. And in that wattle bed will be calendula, arnica, chamomile, and a few other herbs that I want to plant. So we've got some apple trees this year. So that's one apple tree. Another apple tree over there. Sorry, another apple tree over there. And this is my ginkgo tree, because eventually this in front of this rock wall will be our front yard. What else can I show you? Oh, on the rock wall I planted some creeping thyme in a few little spaces here, because amongst the moss I'd like to get the creeping thyme growing. That's down the rock wall. And then eventually there'll be another wattle bed in this depression here for maybe vegetables, maybe more flowers. And of course over there is the other giant tree that we took down. Let's go out this way, is the easiest way. I'm not too steady on my feet, so it's a bit difficult. So sorry for the shaky camera, but heading out this way. So yeah, all of this here will be thinned out, except for these are inkberry bushes, and they're a valuable food source, so I don't want to take those out. There are some serviceberry in here that I want to keep. And you can see another path that goes that way, and it makes a loop around that way. That's where our snare line, our rabbit snare line, gets set. So yeah, coming out this path and past the new garden expansion, you can go to the right to the pond there, or back up here to what I call the landing pad. If you're from around here, just know this property is private property, and if you are wanting to come up here, I would suggest not coming up here without Chris or I being with you. It is protected from predators, human or animal. So yeah, I suggest not coming up here. Let's have a look at the pigs, because that's about it for the tour. They haven't touched their food yet. As you can see, they have a lot of things to do to keep them busy. Let's go over here. Ooh, the piggies. Hey, pigs. Hey, piggies. So yeah, that's it. That's our tour for today for Homestead 2. I'll try to keep you guys up to date as we start planting things. Maybe with a couple short videos to show you what we're planting and yeah, how we're doing it. So turkeys come next month in June, and the chickens come in June. So yeah, it's going to be busy, but we love every minute of it. So I'll see you all later.